What's up, everyone? Frenchie here. Welcome to Talk the Field. You are currently watching the inaugural episode of Talk the Field. It has been a dream of mine for a long time, but finally got the guts to do it. Let's go ahead and get all the boring stuff out of the way, and then we'll jump right in. So, a little bit about myself. My name is Zach French Hale. I am currently attending college, studying communications, in hopes of one day becoming a sportscaster. Sports to me is more than just a passion. It's my life. Watching sports, even playing sports for pretty much my whole life, and it's really turned into like a huge part of my life, and that's where my drive and my passion comes from in terms of starting a podcast. Really getting into it. Um, I'm true to my state though when it comes to my favorite teams. Obviously, the Giants for football, the Yankees for baseball. Even the Knicks, the Rangers, etc. Of course, I'm going to be as unbiased as possible. But that's enough about me. Let's talk a little bit about the show and what it's going to consist of. So times are not really set right now. Busy college schedule and whatnot. But I am planning on bi-weekly episodes to start off. Um, Probably going to get an episode out next week or maybe even the week after for the Super Bowl matchup. The episodes are going to be randomized. It's not going to be like specific topics. Kind of going to keep things fresh in a way. So there's going to be something new each week for you guys to listen on into. It is going to be seasonal though. Spring and summer is going to be primarily baseball. Um, Probably my favorite sport, if I'm being honest. Um, then like the fall and winter is going to be football, basketball. You guys probably get the point. Episodes are typically going to be about 30 minutes to an hour. Today's might run a little bit shorter, trying to stick my foot in the podcasting water. Uh, so, mainly just me, though, for this podcast. Possible co hosts down the road, but there definitely will be multiple guest appearances in the future. And now, without further ado, let's get into the episode. Number one, the first ever, you guys are witnessing or listening in on some history right here because I do plan on really grinding this out and making it big. Um, I wanted to make this video a little bit sooner before the NFL playoffs, but I never got the chance to. But my bracket before the postseason started was this. I'm going to take a picture and throw it in the YouTube video if you guys are listening in on Anchor. My YouTube link will be on my page, so go check that out if you want to see all the pictures and stuff like that. But basically, it's just all like the teams in the playoffs, but then Baltimore just going all the way. I wrote, "Who really cares?" In the rest of the bracket spots because I was that sure of it. I mean, Lamar Jackson just looked unstoppable. No one looked like they could really get to him, and I mean, he's going to win the MVP. Um, but it turns out Tennessee really shut up the world. Beating New England in Foxborough, and then going on to Baltimore to beat the Ravens, and now they're in the semifinals when they barely squeaked into the playoffs. So with just four teams remaining, we have the Packers, the Niners, the Chiefs, and then of course the Titans. The playoffs is about to get really interesting though. It's really up for grabs. I don't really have a clear winner for this, in my opinion, especially with the Titans um, playing their hearts out. I don't know. It just doesn't seem clear. My first team out would definitely have to be the Packers, though. They just don't seem like they're playing up to their record. Um, but I'm gonna go ahead and make my predictions. Talk about a potential Super Bowl matchup with a prediction for that as well. We're gonna start off with the NFC Championship. It is gonna be Green Bay versus San Francisco. So for the Packers, I have for the Green Bay Packers to go ahead and win, Aaron Rodgers needs to be Aaron Rodgers. And this season, it's been pretty clear that you never know which Aaron Rodgers is going to show up. We don't know if it's going to be like prime time MVP Aaron Rodgers, and we don't know if it's gonna come out looking like Baker Mayfield did to start the year. Like you never really know which Aaron Rodgers is going to show up. So that is going to be critical for the success of the Packers if they want to go ahead and make a Super Bowl appearance here in 2020. Additionally, though, the offensive line needs to keep Rodgers from running for his life. That has been the story of the year, though. A lot of struggle for players comes from the offensive line, and I feel like a lot of people don't really realize that. You know, they say, "Oh, this quarterback isn't playing so well," and I mean, I just did for Aaron Rodgers, but that's him making bad throws. But you can really tell a difference between just a quarterback making bad throws and making bad plays versus just not being able to have time to throw the ball. And as a Giants fan, that's been a frustration of mine for the past like 5 to 7 years of just straight up Eli Manning going down like every excuse me every 3 plays. And a lot of people are like Eli, he's terrible and all this stuff, but if you really look at it, Eli Manning had the lowest average time to throw the ball in the league. If you don't believe me, go ahead and look it up. But you could really see when the line would play well in a game, when he would have time to throw the ball, he would throw it on the money. But a lot of rush throws, and that resulted in a lot of picks. So people are really starting to count Eli out. But when you're running for your life, there's people coming at you. Like as soon as you snap the ball, like you're not going to make the best decision. I mean, not everybody is mobile enough to get out of the pocket, like Lamar Jackson and Russell Wilson, guys like that, Sean Watson. Uh, I could go on and on with that list, but the game is definitely changing. So quarterbacks like Eli Manning are starting to become non-existent. Especially with how college is nowadays and all these prospects that are coming up. Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence, Tua. They all have the ability to run the ball. They might not be the greatest at it. Specifically, Joe Burrow. He's not really a scrambling quarterback, but he's definitely got some mobility. I think that started in like the Aaron Rodgers era. Being able to get out of the pocket versus, I mean, there's a difference from that and running a read option. If you're able to escape the pocket, just able to extend that play, it certainly gives you an advantage, especially in today's game. But on defense, though, for the Packers, they need to eliminate the San Francisco run game. Uh, the Green Bay Packers run defense has not been great. They really need to step it up, especially against the 49ers. With the way their offense has worked, they just go straight smash mouth. I mean, they do have Jimmy G, you know, Debo Samuel. He has been a pretty good rookie for the 49ers this year. Plenty of weapons. George Kittle, I can't believe I wouldn't name Kittle in that offense, but they really strive on the run game and the play action. That's the San Francisco offense right there, and it has been for a long time. But having Breda and Coleman and Raheem Mostert, that three-headed dragon almost it seems, but the line is good enough where pretty much anyone can run behind it. So if Green Bay can really shut down that run, I think they're holding San Francisco to a really low number of points. Um, so the run defense is definitely going to be huge. Now for the Niners though, it's going to be a little bit different. Uh, Obviously they need to get the run game going. A little bit of a flip flop there, um, but they need to allow Jimmy G to actually throw the ball. Jimmy G can sling it. A lot of people are giving him flack about it, but you know what? Like this man's not like always gonna throw over 25 passes a game. He'll go out there and throw 19 passes in a game. That's just their offense. And I don't know, Jimmy G just seems like to me he's been really good like when he's been healthy. And I feel like if you actually give him a chance to throw the ball, he's going to make plays in this game, and that will be huge for the 49ers offense. On top of that, though, Kittle needs to be the X factor. Throw him the ball and let him work. Honestly, George Kittle, top top three tight end in the league. If not, he's the best tight end in the league in my opinion. Being able his ability to run after the catch is just phenomenal. One of the faster tight ends in the league, and he's truly a beast. Throw him the ball, throw him some drags, throw him some slants, line him up in the slot, line him up outside. He can play any position. You just got to get him the ball I want to see Kittle get at least 10 receptions in the NFC Championship for the 49ers. And in terms of like defense for the Niners, though, you really got to get after Rodgers. Put Adams, though, under some tight clamps. Adams obviously getting those 2 touchdown catches back in the divisional round. I forgot who they played. Did they play the Vikings? I'm going to go look at my notes and check that. Yeah, they played the Vikings. And Xavier Rhodes just couldn't match up with Devontae Adams. Come on, dude. Playoffs, Richard Sherman is nothing to joke about. If you go look at the Niners Instagram, I believe you can check out the footage from the press conference with Richard Sherman. He's like, no one can get by me, and that's just a factor, something like that. But he was very, very confident with himself, and the numbers do show he is a very good corner in this league. He's been a top 5 corner in the league for pretty much his whole career. Obviously, with the Legion of Boom and then transitioning over to San Francisco, he's been great. But, Bosa and DeForest Buckner, all those guys on the D line for the 49ers need to get after Rodgers, need to pressure him. But at the same time, they got to put clamps under Devontae Adams. And I think the Niners got a real shot of winning this game. And that's actually my prediction. Green Bay just doesn't and hasn't played up to their record this year. And you honestly never know which team is going to show up because there will be games where they'll play phenomenal and they look really good, but it's been more often than not where they've just barely squeaked out wins and have gotten lucky and all this stuff. So I really think that it really depends on that. The San Francisco defense will play tough. They have a top 3 defense in the league this year. Their run game will be too much for Green Bay to handle, though. I have San Francisco winning by 10, 27-17. I think Kittle's going to grab at least 1 touchdown. I think that Braid is going to run for a touchdown. That's my predictions. I'm going to leave it at that. But San Francisco is going to win the NFC Championship and move on to their first Super Bowl since 2013, I believe it was. Now, to the more interesting matchup, we have Kansas City versus Tennessee. For the Chiefs, for them to win this game, give Mahomes time to throw. Prevent the Tennessee defensive line to get to him. Tennessee played so tough against the Ravens. They shut down Lamar. They made Lamar not look like the MVP, and that was the X factor of the game. If they can do the same thing to Mahomes, I think Tennessee honestly has a real good shot. The run game also needs to be there to open up opportunities for Mahomes. For sure, if they can get Williams going, Mahomes is going to throw for 400 yards easily. And honestly, the biggest thing for the Chiefs that will lock themselves a Super Bowl appearance, stop Derrick Henry if you can. Do I need to say more on that? I mean, Derrick Henry has been unbelievable recently. Like the past, I don't know, like 10 weeks. I mean, he ran for the most yards out of anybody in the season. The playoffs, he's been literally unstoppable. And if they can somehow stop Derrick Henry, the beast, I think Kansas City's easily winning this game. For the Titans, though, Tannehill, he's proved that he can sling the ball. You got to use the play action with Derrick Henry. They're going to really try and get after Henry. I mean, this is the AFC Championship. Like, they're going to give it their all to stop Derrick Henry. Use that to your advantage. Fake the handoff and give Tannehill the ball to throw downfield. You have plenty of weapons on offense other than just Derrick Henry. And Tannehill can actually throw the ball. Let him throw the ball in this game. You got to put up a lot of points on an inconsistent Kansas City defense. Recently, though, the Kansas City defense has been really good. I believe their D coordinator is Steve Spagnuolo. He was the D coordinator of the Giants. I don't want to keep talking about the Giants because they're my team. I don't want to be biased, but I mean, look at the Giants defense in both of those Super Bowls. With Strahan and Justin Tuck, like that defensive line was insane for both of those Super Bowls in 2007 and 2012. Steve Spagnuolo was the coordinator. Giants defense fell off for a little bit. They brought Steve Spagnuolo for 1 year when Ben McAdoo was the head coach. I think it was 15 or 16, something like that, and they actually went into the playoffs, and it was their defense carrying. They fired Steve Spagnuolo after 1 year, and he turned the defense around. That was terrible, and they didn't add any talent to that team. But the Giants' defense was really good under Spagnuolo, so I really think that the Kansas City defense is better under Spagnuolo. Once he figured out who his personnel was, that was the difference maker. And obviously under Chris Jones picking up Terrell Suggs was huge. They have a good secondary with Tyrann Mathieu in there. Hang on just 1 second. I gotta take a drink. My throat's pretty dry. I've only been talking for 15 minutes. My throat's dry. There's got to be a problem with that. But yeah, like the Kansas City defense has really, really looked good these past few weeks. So if they can, I mean, they shut down Houston. I mean, they gave up 24 points to start, but they really started to play a lot better. And obviously, they pulled off that insane comeback and won by literally a truckload. So the Titans, if they can put up a lot of points on Kansas City, they are going to win because their defense is good enough to hold teams under 30, 100%. Especially when they're able to stop the Ravens like they did and stop Lamar like they did. Like they just didn't allow Lamar anything, and it was pretty insane to see the Titans do that. You, I mean, if you can stop Mahomes like they stopped Lamar, I think it's clear that Tennessee is going to go out there and they're going to win the game. So my prediction, it's gonna be a little bold. I'm going with Tennessee in the Super Bowl, baby. I got to, being able to barely squeak in the playoffs, beat the Patriots. Granted, Patriots haven't been good this year. I mean, the record was good, but there's certainly a lot of questions on how they made the playoffs and all that. But they beat a playoffs Patriots team in Foxborough. In Foxborough. When do you ever see that happen? The Patriots losing in Foxborough. They beat Baltimore in Baltimore, who was easily the Super Bowl pick for pretty much everyone. I think they were favored somewhere over 50%, I believe, to win the Super Bowl, win the whole thing. And Tennessee just played tough. So Kansas City, though, I mean, putting up 50 points was very impressive. But again, that was against Houston, who blew a 24 lead. Their passing defense was so bad. Their secondary is not good over there in Houston. But Tennessee has a good secondary. They have like a top 10 secondary, with Byard and Ryan. I'm forgetting one more. They just have an all pro secondary. I think that is definitely going to help them against the Chiefs, and their defense as a whole, I think, is eons better than that Houston defense. But yeah, Mahomes just threw all over him. But yeah, I am gonna go with Tennessee. I think it's gonna be a shootout though. It's hard to hold the Chiefs under 20 points, but I'm going with a shootout. 38-35. Tennessee is gonna get a game-winning field goal. You heard it here first. Tennessee is going to the Super Bowl. That's my prediction. So, turns out that my Super Bowl matchup is going to be San Francisco versus Tennessee. Might be bold, but I honestly think that Tennessee has a real chance to win the whole damn thing. They're the hottest team in football. They're pulling off upsets left and right. As long as Derrick Henry continues to beast and feast, I really think the Titans are going to be the first Super Bowl winners of the decade. But I'm not going to go into that matchup right now because it's not set. But I think that I'm definitely going to do a follow up on this and do a more in depth analysis of the Super Bowl matchup. In my prediction in the next episode to talk the field. But for now, that is going to about wrap things up for episode 1, ragging in a little bit over 20 minutes. Thank you guys so much for listening or watching wherever platform you're viewing this on. If you enjoyed, please follow the YouTube channel, which is in. If you're watching this on YouTube, you already know where the YouTube channel is. But if you're listening in on Anchor, I am going to put a link to the YouTube on the page. And of course, my Instagram link is going to be on both of those. It's just Talk the Field, no caps. Talk the Field, no caps, no spaces. Go check out the Instagram, please. But yeah, if you're on YouTube, leave a like, comment. Please comment. I am going to be viewing my comments very strictly to see where I can improve. This is not so much for me as it is for you guys. I really want this to be a place where you can see other people's point of views, or other people's my point of view, and certainly my co-host in the future's point of views. Um, so be sure to stay, open with me and honest, and comment suggestions. Be brutally honest. I don't care. As long as I get suggestions, let me know if you liked it. Let me know what kinds of videos you guys want to see, because I can definitely change things up and do specialty podcasts. Already planning on doing like a top 10 all time for each position for the NFL towards the end of the season before baseball starts. Gonna get a co host in for that. So that video is going to be coming. Don't know the date, but I will post it on the Instagram and everything. So go follow the Instagram. But other than that, this has been your boy Frenchie, the host of Talk the Field. I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching, and peace.